What a great day to be here, and what a great space to be in. Has kind of a festive feel, don't you think? And great weather outside. We're going to enjoy some great time out here on the deck. So this is a great place for this meeting this morning. My name is Ralph Schultz. I'm CEO of the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, and small business is so important to the economy of Nashville that this gathering is one of the high priorities for us this year to have taken place, and the beginning of some important support that we hope to be able to provide to small business. More than 90% of the businesses in Nashville have fewer than 50 employees. 90% of the businesses have fewer than 50 employees. That makes small business a big deal. 83,000 Nashville residents work for companies in the small business category, and shocking probably for some of you to hear, 80% of the members of the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce are also small businesses. And I'm not sure that that is often known about the Chamber, but we enjoy a great following and great engagement from small business category. The venue where we're standing this morning, the Cordell, is a great example of a small business who had the foresight to move to a rapidly growing area of town. And that's one of the most important features of small business, and that is that they are the risk-taking population of this community. When we see jobs grow, it is largely because of that risk-taking capability that small business owners bring to this community. So not only did Lee Watson and Neely Glenn do their homework before they opened this business, but they also took advantage of a lesser known feature of Nashville, which is a small business incentive program offered by Metro. And there aren't many cities in the country that offer these kinds of features to small businesses, so Metro is really a pioneer in this category. We do want to make sure that small business communities are aware of all the programs and services our cities offer to help your businesses grow. But now I'd love to invite Lee and Neely to the microphone to talk a little bit about their business. So Lee and Neely, where are you? Welcome them.
Thank you, Ralph. My name is Neely Glenn, and I am one of the owners of this venue called the Cordell, with my business partners Lee and Chandra. This whole project began when my partners and I decided to open a venue in Nashville. We were very, very passionate about saving a building and refurbishing it, and this property seemed perfect. It was built in 1887 by a steamer clerk, and it was a real incredible part of the history of Nashville. But when the realtor showed us this building, there was a huge gaping hole in the roof. Part of the building had been burned. Pigeons were living inside, maybe some people. The property was condemned, and to be honest, it really looked like a haunted house. But for some very strange reason, we immediately said to ourselves, this building is ours. Our realtor pulled us aside and very seriously said, this is a very bad idea. But of course, when someone tells us that, we do it anyway. So I went ahead and called Matt Wilshire in the mayor's office to see if the city could help us cleaning up the area. This little corner right here was in a bit of disrepair, and Matt actually took my call, which is amazing. We were moving here from Los Angeles, so for someone in politics to take your call is utterly shocking. And we told Matt what we wanted to do, and he said, oh, this is a great idea, why don't we get a meeting together? And he actually had a meeting set for us, and we went to the mayor's office and met Terry, and we bought the building. So we went ahead and we got our permits, and we started construction. And then, as things usually go, the reality hit us that we were 2/3 of the way through. We were over budget and underfunded as construction goes. Our problem was we had 30 events booked, and we were 3 months out. And if we did not hit our construction deadline, the business was going to fail, for sure. So the next day, I'm not kidding, Chris Parham actually left me a message and said, listen, I just want you guys to know that there's a blighted property grant that I think you guys would be suited for. Now, if anyone was fit for a blighted property grant for small business, that was us. So I started filling out the paperwork, and we received the grant. And our business opened, and the city really saved us. And we could not have done it without that grant, for sure. So we hit our opening date on May 16th, 2014. Over the last year, we've done 100 events, and we have 163 more booked coming all the way through 2016. So I am really so grateful to the city for this grant, for the kindness and the accessibility that the city has given us has truly changed my life. And please feel free to wander upstairs and see our loft space. There's more space up there. And if you're interested in having an event here, our website is thecordell.com. So I wish everyone, I hope everyone has as much opportunity as we do with this grant, because it really was life-changing. So thank you so much to the city, and thanks for all of you for coming. And Ralph, I'll give it back to you. Thanks.
So Matt and Chris and Terry have just become really much more popular names in the room, I can tell. And one of the great things that Mayor Dean has done over the last 8 years, as he has focused on education, economic development, and public safety, is as he's gathered a team around him to advance the needs of the city, he's gathered some really great people, and you're going to be hearing from some of those really great people today. But first, you're going to hear from the man himself. He is coming to the close of his second term, and I think we're all feeling a bit wistful about that, about the close of his term, because when you think about the areas of emphasis, the priorities for him over these past years as the most important keys to prosperity for a community, economic development, education, and public safety. And then when you think about the events that have occurred over these past years, a recession that hit the entire United States, a flood that had the potential to devastate the economic base of the region. But then you also realize all of those things that he's accomplished over that time that are just everyday kinds of things that just kept getting better and better across the community over this time. You see how important the executive leadership is to a city and its prosperity. So this is our opportunity, as he has been one of those pioneering mayors to bring incentives to small businesses in his community. Now is the time to give Mayor Carl Dean a warm welcome to the podium.
Well, thank you, Ralph, for that very kind introduction. And I'm a little bit surprised. There's apparently some items here I'm supposed to raffle off, like a telephone, and I bet you it's a very nice car. But it's great to be with you, and I want to recognize several elected officials who are with us. First, Jerry Maynard, who I'm going to speak a little bit about later. Walter Hunt from the council is here. Walter, thank you right there for being here. And Representative John Ray Clemens, who's done a great job for us this year and will continue to battle the good fight for Nashville at the legislature. And I want to thank all the panelists for the great work they do and for being here. It has been really rewarding to work with Jerry Maynard on the Small Business Incentive Program and other important initiatives that have helped improve our city, like our new baseball stadium, the First Tennessee Park. If you haven't been to a Sounds game there yet, I highly recommend it. It's a great ballpark just north of downtown at Sulphur Dell, the historic home of baseball in Nashville. And Jerry has provided leadership in a variety of ways, and including this actual conference we're holding here today. I'm not just saying these nice things about Jerry because the council is considering our budget right now. I say these things about Jerry because I mean them. I also want to thank the Cordell for hosting us this morning. I think this is my third or fourth time here. I really appreciate Neely's kind words about the metropolitan government, and I'm really is meaningful to hear that the government was able to be of assistance. This is a beautiful venue, and it's a great example of the vibrant, creative business community that exists here in our city. And it's an example of how important to our city the music industry is. Neely's partners here are the Watson twins, who are two great musicians. And I guess they knew from their travels around the country that great venues, what they look like, and they certainly have created one here. We couldn't be more proud that the city partnered with you as the first recipient of the Blighted Property Grant under the Small Business Incentive Program. So congratulations, and you did the work, and we're really proud of you. This is an exciting event, and the turnout today speaks to the great environment for small businesses in Nashville. This is Small Business Week, so it's an appropriate time for this forum. Nationally, small businesses employ approximately 48% of the private sector workers, and small businesses have been key to the recovery from the last recession. Since the recession ended, approximately 60% of all new workers have been hired by small businesses. Supporting these businesses and creating an environment for them to thrive is one of the most important responsibilities a local government has. Since I first ran for office 8 years ago, I said that there are 3 pitches we have to hit every day, and I hope you know what they are. It's public education, public safety, and economic development. My administration has been aggressive about economic development in Nashville. We understand that the government doesn't create jobs, you guys do, the business owners do. What we can do is to work to make it faster for you to get open and easier for you to do your business. And that's the reason we developed the Development Services Center, which Terry Cobb will talk about. And I want to compliment Terry for just doing, I think, an outstanding job and being tremendously creative. We've worked hard to attract more businesses to Nashville, and we've had some great wins. You guys, UBS, Warby Parker, Google Fiber. These large companies and their employees have provided additional businesses for smaller local businesses. In order to support these small businesses, like we have with large companies, we work with the council to create the Small Business Incentive Program, which helped the Cordell open this venue. And Jerry, who was very much involved in that, will talk about that in a few minutes. As I said in my State of Metro address last week, I am unabashedly and unapologetically pro-business. The greatest thing we can do to help improve citizens' lives is to help make sure that they have good-paying jobs. There are a lot of good government programs and a lot of things government needs to do, and there's always work to be done to make life better for people in Nashville. But there is nothing like a job to help people. You are all the ones doing that for Nashville, and I thank you for that. What we do in the government is to make sure that all businesses have an equal shot at the American dream. Since I took office, we've increased our work with small, minority, and women-owned businesses by about 250%, from 17.74% in fiscal year 07 to 44.9% in fiscal year 14. We achieved 29.5% DBE participation in the construction of the Music City Center. The Omni Hotel DBE came in at over 40%, and at the new Ascend Amphitheater in Riverfront Park, the DBE right now is tracking at 36.8%. Michelle, who has been so key to the success of this, will talk more about that in a moment. The small business in Nashville also represents the diversity of our city. Nationwide, immigrants start 28% of all new businesses, although they make up only 13% of the population. It's not any coincidence by the fact that the head of the administrator of the Small Business Administration was here in Nashville just a few weeks ago at Connexion to talk about immigrants and to talk about small business. And here in Nashville, immigrants make up an impressive 29% of Main Street business owners, and that is a great thing for Nashville. They own the restaurants and the businesses that give their neighborhoods character, the grocery stores and coffee shops that bring in new residents and visitors. So my main message today to you is this: thank you. Thank you for all that you do every day to create a better life for your employees and a more vibrant Nashville. I hope you find this forum and the information provided by the organizations here helpful as you run your businesses. It's because of the energetic business community here that I am absolutely confident that the city will be a better place 5 years from now, it will be a better place 10 years from now, and it will be a better place 20 years from now. When I look out at your faces, I see people who made the right decision. You're investing in a really great city, and a city with a great future. So you gotta feel good about that. Thank you.
Okay, now to the meat of the matter. We have had great inspiration in this facility and in our speaker, and now we get down to the meat of it. We have a great panel here for you today, and I'm going to introduce all of them. Then we'll come back and start the commentary with Terry Cobb. And then after we've completed the panel, they'll be available for you all to answer your questions. And of course, we have the resource fair out here where you'll also have the opportunity to have questions answered. So, Terry Cobb, immediately to my left, is the Director of Development Services in the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. You've already been introduced to Councilman Jerry Maynard, the at-large member of the Metro Council. We also have here Davita Taylor, the Director of Business Diversity Development at the Metro Nashville Airport Authority. We also have Michelle Hernandez-Lane, Director of Minority and Women's Business Assistance in the Metro Finance Office. Did you hold up your hand? Did y'all hold up your hands? Okay. This is an interactive thing. And then we have Corey Davis, who is the Director of Business Growth Initiatives for the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. So thank you all for being here as panelists. So the first thing we would like to ask the panelists is to have each of them explain a little bit about their organization and what kind of services that you provide for small business. And we will start with what the person we affectionately refer to as the master of make it happen, Terry Cobb.
Thank you, Ralph. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Director of Development Services working in the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. Before I get started, I have been privileged to work in the Mayor's office for the past few years, and I can assure you that Carl Dean ran for office and was reelected to office, and he talked about public education and public safety and economic development. And I've worked for quite a few mayors now, but he's the one that gets up and thinks about economic development every day. And in his official capacity as mayor, he's enabled us to do some things that we only previously talked about. And I deeply appreciate that. The Mayor's Office of Economic Development focus is to provide resource for companies seeking help in expanding or relocating businesses and jobs. Help for builders and developers and businesses with permits. Assist companies interested in doing business with the city. We also are involved in film and TV with producers and special events. These folks need access to public spaces. And through the Music City Music Council, we deal with a lot of music-related businesses and creative ventures. We deal with international commerce through the Foreign Trade Zone, and we work with the Industrial Development Board for Metropolitan Nashville and with Metro's Airport Authority. My role is really to more or less focus on permit processes for construction and development, to assist builders and developers and businesses with construction and development permits. And we deal with large developments and small developments, small business expansions and large business expansions and relocations. And I look at it and I say often, you know, if you own and operate a donut shop, you probably know everything in the world there is to know about how to make donuts and how to sell those donuts and serve your customers, but you probably don't know much about how to get a permit for a sign that advertises your business, or if you want to do some remodeling or your kitchen or your counter space or where you serve your customers, you probably don't know a whole lot about how to interact with the government through the regulatory processes. And that's what we do. We try to work as a customer advocate to help expedite those permits and regulatory processes so you can get on with expanding your business as quickly as possible. It's important to Metro. That's growth of our tax base. And in this day and age, the tax base only grows. You know, we're not going to raise sales tax, and we're not going to increase property tax. So the only way you have to increase revenues that are available for city services is by expanding your tax base and expanding those tax opportunities, which means the businesses are expanding. We work to streamline the process, a continuous effort to try to remove inconsistencies and better coordinate the functions of multiple departments. We've implemented several improvements with the support of the mayor. And I said we've done some things that we only talked about previously. We have talked about a one-stop shop for building and development permits in Nashville for 40 years, since the early 1970s. And we've done some of it. And we'd make some progress, and then we'd lose ground, and then we'd make some more progress. But the mayor got behind an effort to create truly a development services center where we have one front desk and one permit office in one location for the Metro government, for all the various types of permits that you might need access to. And he got behind it, he funded it, and he enabled us to actually move 173 people, employees of the Metro government, to put them in a better position and co-locate them together so that we can provide a better service or a more streamlined service, better access to the departments. We also created a pre-submission conference format. I was talking just before this event, where we bring all the departments in on every Monday afternoon. So if you've got expansion plans or development plans and you've just got the schematics and you want to kick your ideas around with representatives of all the various departments, we make that available to you. It's voluntary, you don't have to do it, but we're fully available to you on a few days' notice. And you end up with interaction with each of the people that are going to be reviewing your project, a chance to ask questions, get answers, and to establish points of contact throughout the process. All this is to work to better coordinate the functions of Metro government for the benefit of the customers that we serve. We've also implemented, and actually we're in the late stages of completely replacing the computer systems behind all of these departments and functions. And right now we're scheduled to go live with that on, I think it's June 29th. It's the last Monday in June. So we're within 7 weeks of doing that. And the system, current system, is among the elite systems that exist in the U.S. This one will be twice as good, and it brings an aging system up to current technology and provides more services out to the customer. It's fully transparent, every permit, every inspection, every department. You can look on the internet 24/7, find out the status of your project. Plans are submitted and reviewed electronically. You have real-time access to that information as we're doing it. It's just another example of how the mayor has gotten behind a project and enabled us to do it and fully committed to the funding of it. With that, I'll stop and let the other panelists speak. Thank you.
So Councilman Jerry Maynard, you've heard the mayor describe his efforts in this category. Councilman Maynard.
Thank you. I want to thank you all for being here. Look around. This is a great crowd. Look at the diversity of Nashville. That's our strength. That's what makes us different and makes us special in this great nation, is the opportunities that we have to live the American dream. And that American dream should be available to everybody. And that's what I believe from the bottom of my heart. Whether you're black or white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, a woman or a male. Opportunity for you should be here in Nashville, Tennessee. And as a member of the council, we've done everything we can to make sure that happens. Back in 2000, I can't remember the actual date, 1996, and then sometime in 2000, there was a disparity study that was done to show that less than 1% of all metro contracts went to women and minority-owned business. Let me say that again. Less than 1% of all metro contracts went to women and minority-owned business. And in 2007, we passed legislation to change that. I want to thank Michelle Lane. I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank the council with Walter Hunt and others for leading that, and Michelle will talk about that later. But kudos to Michelle and her department. Kudos to the mayor. Kudos to the council for changing that dramatically, Let me talk about the Small Business Incentive Grant Program. That was an idea that came in the council. We were talking about how do we make sure that small businesses have the resources that they need in order to grow and expand. And as my dear friend said, it's important that we expand our tax base. And we felt that the way that you expand your tax base, the best way, is to grow small businesses and give incentives to small businesses to grow. So we came with a two-part program for the Small Business Grant Program. With the council. I worked with Charlie Tiger. We took the idea to Matt Wilshire. Matt then talked with the mayor. The mayor said yes, and then the mayor and Matt worked with us to make the legislation even better. So as we began to work with that and work with Matt and work with the mayor, they then made the legislation even better and said, hey, let's look at some things that we can tweak to make it better. Once we did that, then we had to get it financed. So we decided to do a 2-year pilot program. The mayor put in $1 million for that program. So kudos goes to the mayor, because he could have said, that's a great idea, but we ain't got any money. But the mayor said this is a priority. And your budgets always tell you what your priorities are, right? Small business owners. So by putting $1 million in, the council was able to approve it unanimously. And so we were able to get the Small Business Incentive Program passed through the Metro Council, funded through the mayor's budget, which was then passed by us. The program does 3 things, and I want to go over it briefly. And then I want to just have a final comment, and then I'll be finished. One, the Small Business Program provides $500 for every new employee that you hire within a 12-month period of time if you hire 10 or more employees. So if you hire 10 or more employees over a 12-month period of time, you can receive $500 per employee that you hire. If you hire a veteran, I'm a veteran, and many veterans in here, you get $700 per veteran you hire. So there's an incentive to hire veterans that are coming back either from the wars or or they're just simply retiring. But if they are a veteran, you receive $700 if you hire 10 employees or more within a 12-month period of time. Again, giving you an incentive to expand your business, giving you an incentive in order to say, hey, we're going to take the risk, we're going to expand our business, we're going to grow our business. Then we also then provide grants up to $50,000 if you redevelop or rebuild or redesign or improve a blighted building in a redevelopment district. Now, the owners of the Cordell, thank you. Why? Because you made you proved that the program works. And we're standing and sitting in here today. And so when Matt told me about the Cordell, I was so excited, because you know how the press is. They start calling you and they start asking you, is that program really working that you all passed? And guess what? When the Cordell opened, I said, yes, indeed. Or as somebody else said, yes, we can. You know him, Ralph. He's your president. No. So finally, I want to talk to you. So it's up to $50,000 grants if you redevelop a building in a blighted community. So that helps transform neighborhoods and communities. It helps small businesses. When you're like the Cordell, you're under budget. You're almost about to finish. Then you get anywhere from up to $0 to $50,000 for that grant. That will help you. And most importantly, and this is what I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce, I want to thank the mayor's office, I want to thank Matt and his office, is that how do you get the word out to small businesses? You guys are so busy running your business, trying to make payroll and file all your paperwork and do all the things necessary. How do you find out about programs like this? And that's why I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce for working with the Metro Council. I want to thank the mayor, and Matt and I talked about it. Why don't we have a summit? And why don't we have a summit that we can inform small businesses? And the chamber stepped up and said, we'll take the reins. And Corey has done a great job. Why? Because if we have a program like this and you don't know anything about it, it doesn't do anybody any good. So kudos also goes to the chamber, to the mayor, to those who helped sponsor this. I want to thank you so much because we've got to get the word out that these programs work. And but if you don't know about it, you won't apply for the grants. The worst thing we can have is have that $1 million go to next year. I want all that $1 million spent, and I want you all to get it. So please expand your businesses, take your risk, redevelop some of these blighted buildings in redevelopment zones, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much.
Okay, I guess that wasn't the end of the inspirational portion of the meeting. Thanks, Jerry. And Metro Nashville Airport Authority is an important group for this community because so much of the commerce, so much of the business activity that occurs in this area utilizes the airport as a resource. So Davita Taylor is the Director of Business Diversity Development at the Metro Nashville Airport Authority. Davita?
Good morning. I feel like I'm on Star Wars with this microphone. I am really glad to see you all this morning. First, before I begin telling you a little bit about the Airport Authority and the resources that we have out there, I'd like to acknowledge our President and CEO, Rob Wigington. He's in the very back. And I'm going to have to read this to you word for word because I don't want to mess this up. This is the mission and the vision of the Metropolitan Nashville Airport Authority. It is to provide the Nashville Airport's experience by providing outstanding customer service, facilities, as well as services, which then bring the heartbeat of the Music City to the airport. And actually, I didn't read that. That's pretty good. How many of you have flown through the airport in the last 10 years? 5 years. Last year. It has changed, hasn't it? And it's wow, amazing. When you go all across the country and you see other airports, and then you come back home and you go, wow, we've got a really great airport. That is truly a testament to the growth that we have here in Middle Tennessee, as well as to all the business owners and the people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into making that a really great airport. That renovation has grown tremendously. We can stand up against any other airport in this country. Not many airports provide music. How many do you know that provides music? I love the music. It helps when you have a layover or a long wait. Lots of that music is provided by some of our small businesses as well. How do we assist small businesses? We have got, and let me start back over. When I go out and I talk about the airport, I tell everybody all the time, it's like a small city. We've got fire, police, you name it. Anything a small city needs, the same thing the airport needs. What's the first thing you do when you get ready for a flight? And what's the first thing that you do when you get off a flight? You go to the bathroom. So we buy a whole lot of toilet paper for the airport. And again, that's also provided by, one of our small businesses. So we really try to walk that walk and talk the talk as well. We have a department that is solely dedicated to assisting small businesses. But the buck doesn't stop just with that particular department. That department is the Office of Business Diversity Development, but it doesn't just stop with them. Anybody, any department inside that airport authority is there to assist a small business. If you need some assistance in understanding how our procurement process works, they'll help you with that. It's not just our office that does it, but the entire airport authority does that. That is something that we believe in because we understand the value and the worth of small businesses. So we want to make sure that we continue to contribute to the economy in the Middle Tennessee area. The department is in charge of administering 2 of our small business programs. We've got a federal disadvantaged business enterprise program, and we've got a local small minority and woman-owned business enterprise program. One is federally mandated, and the other one is mandated by our Board of Commissioners. We believe that there is so much value in making sure that small businesses participate in the procurement opportunities that are there. So whether it's federally mandated because we get federal funds, but then we've also got that local portion. Anytime we spend local monies, we want to make sure that small businesses are getting to participate in those areas. We offer certification, outreach, training, and technical assistance. We've got our own certifying arm at the Airport Authority. We certify small, minority, woman-owned business enterprises, as well as disadvantaged business enterprises. We've got over 300 small businesses that are currently certified with us. And of that amount of 300, about 15% of those businesses actually get work out at the airport on a regular basis, which is huge. We've come a long way from where we were before our first disparity study, because we've done one as well. We offer a series on how to do business with the Airport Authority. We cover our 16-county MSA. What we do is we go out and talk to people about how to do business with the airport. Sometimes people view the airport and go, what can I really do out there? Again, we're like a small city. It's not just planes going up and down. We've got restaurants in there. Again, as I talked about, goods and services that we need. So we go out and we talk to different organizations, small business groups, about how to do work out at the Airport Authority. We offer training just on basic business skills. We just partnered with Michelle's group, and we did a training on social media. We did training on taxes several months ago. We want to make sure that we are giving our small businesses, because we know you all are busy and you've got all the great technical skills, you can run your business. We want to make sure that you've got a good foundation. So if you need some assistance in learning how to do your taxes or accounting, we provide those services for you, and we provide them to all of our certified firms for free. All you have to do is be certified with the airport. Tell us what kind of training that you're looking for, and we'll make sure that that kind of training happens for you all. Technical assistance, and this is my soapbox, and this is the one that I probably love more than any of them. We provide technical assistance in 2 ways at the Airport Authority. The first one is one-on-one, where we sit down with you, you come in, you make an appointment, and we talk to you about your business and how it could potentially fit into the Airport Authority, and then some of the nuances with working with the airport. That is one. And probably the biggest, and again, the one that's my soapbox, is that we have 2 programs out at the Airport Authority. One is our Mentor Protege program, and the other is our Emerging Contractors program. The Mentor Protege program is where we select up to 5 certified small businesses, and we provide this to them for free. Again, we try to do this for free for them. We pick at least 5 every year, and we do classroom-style training for 10 months. Again, it's about those foundations of business. Again, we know you're busy people. We only ask for 8 hours a month. That's it, and we do it all in one day. And we bring in consultants that help you with marketing, contract negotiation, dispute resolution, whatever topics match that group of 5 individuals and the things that they tell us they need, we go out and find consultants to provide that service to them. After you are in the Mentor Protege program, you then have an opportunity to graduate to what we call our Emerging Contractors program. And in that particular program, it is you, and it's probably another 5 individuals. It's you, we pull the hood up, and we take a look at your strengths and the areas of improvement for you. And it is tailored specifically for you to help you grow your business and build your capacity. Again, this is another free service that we provide to you all because, again, we believe in our small business community and we believe in building your capacity. And we also believe in making sure that we stay involved with the community. So what we've done over the last year, we have partnered with the Tennessee State University's Nashville Business Incubation Center, and they are the ones that run the Mentor Protege and Emerging Contractors program for us. And it has worked out great for us because it has helped us take down two barriers that are often common with small businesses. And that is one, finding a place, a reasonable place to operate your business that's outside of your home. Well, when you're a part of the Mentor Protege and Emerging Contractors program, we provide leased space from them over at the incubation center for you to house your business. Again, it is free to you. So you then have a place to house your business. You get your own office, you can make it look however you need. And it's right there in the middle of downtown, a great central location. The other barrier that it helps us with is money, finances, access to capital. That's usually the first thing I always hear. So because you are a part of the Mentor Protege or the Emerging Contractors program, you have access to a loan fund that's there. You can get a $25,000 loan, just like that. It has a lot easier financing than most banks. And so again, we're trying to make sure that we're helping small businesses really grow and build their capacity.
You don't have to pay back our grant.
Thanks, Jerry.
Competition on the path.
I know, but it's a good competition. We'll give it to you for free. You don't have to pay it back. That's a good competition. But again, it is really about us making sure we're helping these small businesses build their capacity, because that's really what it's about. You want to make sure that these small businesses can not only survive, but that they thrive. And we feel like we have to do our part in helping to build that economy, so we're all about making sure that we're helping build the capacity. And now I will turn it over to Michelle.
Let me just say, Davida, there aren't many people that I know that can bring toilet paper appropriately into a panel discussion. And so thank you for that. But you can see what a great resource the Airport Authority is. Michelle Hernandez-Lane is the Director of Minority and Women's Business Assistance in the Metro Finance Office, and obviously a key player in helping to make some of these some of this support occur. So, Michelle, tell us what you do.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? I see one person in the back shaking his head that no. Now you can hear me? My ongoing joke is my husband tells me all the time that I never need a mic. You can always be heard. You're loud. So. Thank you all so much for inviting us to be here. I'm always so excited to come and talk about the work that we do here within Metro government to assist, support, and help small businesses grow, as well as minority and women-owned businesses. Our Office of Minority and Women Business Assistance is established by the Metropolitan Procurement Code, and we are charged with working with minority and women-owned businesses. But we also are charged with working with and assisting small businesses and to help them to have the access to resources and information that they need to be competitors within the metropolitan government. But we also know, I always tell people, we're not so naive that we don't understand that every bit of assistance that we provide and every resource that we make available, you're not only going to use that on doing business with the city. You're going to take that information, it's going to grow you and improve you as a business owner, and then you're going to have that in your back pocket when you go and do business with anybody else. So toward that end, if I were to tell you what our goal is and what our mission is, it is really to promote and to stimulate economic growth in the city and in the region, because so many of our small businesses we see, they're in Davidson County, but they're also in Dixon County, they're in Rutherford County, they're in all of this Middle Tennessee region. And so our goal is to promote their economic growth and development by implementing very specific programming and initiatives that, one, identify those businesses, prepare them and help them to grow so that they can become and then continue to be very viable competitors and viable contributors in this Middle Tennessee economy. The way that we do that is varied. You know, we are using a variety of different techniques, a variety of different tactics to make sure that you know about opportunities within the city government, but also to share information with you so that you can leverage your time as a small business owner. And we share information from our partners, from other buying entities, so that you can have as many, as a varied access as possible to all the different types of opportunities to do business, either with the airport, with the state of Tennessee, with some of our private partners. So we want to make sure that you have that information. We provide you with information, technical assistance, business development and outreach services. And at the end of the day, I tell people that our goal is to make metro government, and you'll hear Mayor Dean say that Nashville should be the kind of place that anyone who's qualified and wants to has the opportunity to do business with the city. And we want to support that, that inclusivity by making sure that all qualified small, minority, and women-owned businesses have the opportunity to participate in city government. We've had a variety of different projects, a variety of different solicitation types that have come out for everything that you see in the city. And Davida talked about buying, you know, you go to the restroom right before you get on the plane, you get off the plane, you go to the restroom. We buy everything from road work to the sneakers that the inmates wear. I mean, we buy everything. And so we want to make sure that folks have an opportunity, one, to be aware of what we're buying and how you can participate, but to also be prepared to participate. When we began the procurement non-discrimination program back in 2008, I carried the ordinance around with me. I told people it was like my little procurement Bible. You know, it's like a 21-page ordinance that pretty much defines everything you can and can't do. But my greatest fear was that we would have this program, it would be established, creating opportunities is how we define it, for businesses to be more active participants in the city's procurement process, but we wouldn't have the businesses there available to take advantage of it. And that has proven to be an unfounded fear for me. I wanted to make sure that if we set the table, that people would come to the table, one, and two, know how to eat when they got there. And what we have seen through the efforts that we have put forth in terms of providing business development and outreach activities, as well as monitoring the procurement activity on the back end, is that we have seen increases in our participation of minority and woman-owned businesses, as well as our small businesses. And we've seen that, as the mayor mentioned, go from roughly 17% of small, minority, women-owned, service-disabled vets, all the way up to 46% in 2014, which I believe is no small feat, so you all can clap now. But that work is important, and it's done by a variety of different people. We have business development and outreach activities, which consist of the one-on-one technical assistance that Davida talked about. We sit down with folks. We help them make sure they know how to do what I call navigating the metro mix. And you know, you can come with a great idea and a whole bunch of gumption, but if you don't know how to navigate things, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And so I feel like our job is to make sure that you know how to navigate within the metro procurement process, how to get certain things lined up, get your ducks in a row so that you can be competitive. We also provide training activities. You know, we participate in activities such as this, so you can know who we are and what we do and how you can participate. And we also have an annual business symposium, shameless plug, scheduled for June 24th. It's going to be at the Nashville Downtown Public Library. We encourage you to come out, and we always want to make sure that we provide you with meat. So we're not going to provide you with a trade show where you walk around. Well, I mean, you can do this, but this won't be the only thing that you do, with a bag and you stuff it full of goodies and squish balls and all that kind of thing. We're going to provide you with something that is an actual takeaway. And we always provide specific technical assistance activities at that symposium, networking opportunities, things that you need as a business owner to make you feel like I've got 5 employees in my shop. I've been away from my shop today at an outreach activity with Metro, and it was absolutely worth it. And that's what we want you to feel when you leave our symposium on the 24th. The work of our business development and outreach section is managed by Ms. Jerval Watson, who's here. If you'll stand, Jerval, so everybody can see you. She'll be out at the table. She's kind of our first point of contact with a lot of our businesses. So you can always feel free to email me, but you can always feel free to email Jerval as well. The other thing that I think is kind of the bow on the package for us is that we manage these activities to get you prepared, to make you aware, and then to help you effectively compete for work within the city. But then what happens afterwards? If you work with somebody and you're identified as a subcontractor and, it's, say, the downtown amphitheater. I'll use that one as an example because the mayor used it as well. And we set 20% DBE requirement on that project, meaning small, minority, woman-owned, service-disabled vets, any of those folks. What happens on the back end to ensure that that happened, that 20% was actually reached? And we engage in a full-scale contract compliance process to ensure that what contractors promise, that they actually do. And that work here within our office is managed by Mr. Brian Gleason. Brian, if you'll let everybody see who you are as well. Brian is a friendly accountant, friendly auditor, until you didn't do what you were supposed to. We think that that's important because we promise you a lot. We say, here's some opportunities, here's some specific techniques that we're going to engage to get you involved, and here's the procurement opportunity. What happens on the back end is equally important. So that contract compliance work really provides some teeth, and it gives some degree of credibility to the work that we do in terms of ensuring that what was promised is actually achieved. So there are a number of different activities, and I could talk about this in my sleep. I could talk about it forever and ever, but I think Corey would probably start pulling my sleeve over here if I continue to talk about it some more. But I want you to know that we're consistently here to assist you. We want you to be competitors for work within the city of Nashville, for Metro government, but also we want to see you grow and be a part of this great boom that's happening in the city, and any kind of activity that we engage in to support small businesses is toward that overall goal. I'm riding herd, I call it, over the general initiatives that we have around small business, and much of that is geared toward doing business with the city, but it's also geared toward helping you to become more viable competitors and more prepared and aware of how you can be a part of all the growth that's going on in Middle Tennessee. So feel free to go to our website at www.nashville.gov and pull down the online services to find our minority, woman-owned business, small business website. Follow us on Twitter at MetroBAO. We put a lot of really good information out there that we think is useful to you. And if you're using social media effectively, having some tidbits of information that let you know what's going on, some things that you need to know, are huge time savers, and they can be of great assistance to you. So we encourage you to make sure that you follow us. And if you need to, you can always feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm at michelle.lane@nashville.gov. And I'm here to, we work for you. So we want to make sure that you know how to reach us, and no question is too small. I'll have people say, hey, I've got a small question, or I've got a dumb question. Not so much. You don't know the answer, it's not dumb. So feel free to contact us, and we look forward to working with you.
Well, Michelle, the applause happened before I had a chance to say you can clap now. So our final panelist is Corey Davis, the Director of Business Growth Initiatives for the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce. And Corey, you are on the clock.
Saving the best for last. It had nothing to do with the order that this was set up in. Well, hopefully, thanks so much for coming out here. This is a great event. Thanks to our panelists. Thanks to the Cordell. I hope that coffee is still kicking in. Give you another 5 minutes of focus here. That was also donated by a local small business. Great success story with Frothy Monkey. But yeah, so I work with the Chamber of Commerce. Our mission is to facilitate community leadership to create economic prosperity for Nashville. And we do that in a variety of different ways, from our work with education to develop the workforce, our work with local legislation to make sure that laws being passed help you do business and not hurt you to do business, our work recruiting businesses here, and then what my role is specifically focused on is helping the small and mid-sized companies here in Nashville and giving you the tools and resources you need to grow your business. So Business Studio is a program we just created really end of last year, but January is kind of when it was first rolled out. And we really, as Ralph mentioned, the majority of businesses in Nashville are small businesses. The majority of businesses in our membership are small businesses, and there was a big gap there on, what they had access to and, what they needed to really help their business. So before we even started the program, we surveyed members, we surveyed non-members, we ran focus groups, we really looked at hard data to figure out how best we could provide what these small businesses need. And so that's how Business Studio was created. The mission, and yeah, like I said, the mission of Business Studio is specific for small and mid-sized businesses. And kind of what we heard from these groups or these people as we're talking to them, they don't have, where do you go? If you're a small business starting out, where do you go? Is there one place that you can go that'll tell you everything you need to know? There's not. It's actually quite hard to figure out what you need depending on your business. There's going to be different programs, there's going to be different resources that affect your specific business, and it can be very tricky, it can be challenging to figure out where all those are and who you need to talk to. And that's really what Business Studio is trying to do is, I'm going to steal your term, Terry, be a one-stop shop for small businesses. So you have one place to go that'll tell you all the other organizations that can help you out depending on what you need. We're not just promoting chamber events and chamber tools, but we're promoting everyone else. We really want to help you out regardless of where that comes from. And so by doing that, we form partnerships with all these other organizations, and an event like today, I think you're definitely going to see more of coming from the chamber and from other groups. I mean, we've got a lot of partnerships already in progress, and we're going to be collaborating with more of these organizations moving forward. So again, we want to get that information out to you as best we can and help you in any way that we can. So for Business Studio, a few things that we do offer. We have monthly programs. We do a workshop every single month. These workshops are going to be pretty intensive, kind of intimate classroom setting that we focus on very specific topics and go as far into that subject matter as we can so that when you leave, you have something tangible. We're not just going to give you a high-level overview of something where you can take a few notes and you go back to work and it never kicks in, but we want you to actually go through the program and really get something out of it that you can take back to your business. For example, we had a workshop earlier this year where everyone in the workshop filled out an SBA loan. So when they left, they had an application in to get money from the SBA to grow their business. Our last workshop, we actually took people through a long-term business growth strategy plan. And everyone had a template that they worked for, and then when the workshop was done, they actually had a plan that they could go back and communicate that with the rest of their employees and the rest of their leadership. So these are just some examples of what we want to accomplish in those workshops. And then we're also going to have other events. We do 2 a month. One is the workshop. The other one, we just want to bring in other small business owners. That's one thing we heard from business owners early on is, we just want to hear from other people who are doing it. I kind of want to reassure myself that I'm not the only one struggling with these problems, or, what are people doing, what trends are out there, what are other small business owners doing that I can learn from. So each month we're going to bring in, speakers, have panel discussions, and really put other successful small business owners in front of you so that they can share their knowledge and really give you the opportunity to ask questions that, are going to help your business, questions that are specific to your business. We're also working, we have a website. If everyone would write this down, just so you remember it, NashvilleChamber.com/Biz Studio, B-I-Z Studio. That is our website for Business Studio, and that's where we want to have the one-stop shop. That's going to be our portal of information. So you can go on there, you can see all the events that we have lined up. Soon, we have a few on there now, but we're going to be adding everyone else's events too. So you don't have to go to multiple websites and multiple calendars. We want you to go to one place and know when Metro's going to have a procurement workshop. We want you to know when the airport's going to have a business supplier or small business information session. We want you to know what's going on all over town and what will help you. So we're going to have all different events on there. We have a blog that really we just use that to push, another way to push out information, different programs around town, articles or topics from industry experts, just sharing information through that. And then also links and guides and templates to help you in the early stages of creating your business and getting you that information of what you need to know getting started and what you need to continue to grow and develop your business. So yeah, that's kind of Business Studio in a nutshell. And again, I just want to, I think where we're going and what I love about today is just how everyone, great collaborative effort on everyone's part, and that's really what we're pushing for. Like I said, there's going to be different groups that are better suited for your business, and you're going to have to kind of go through that process to figure out who can best help you. So if we can have everyone in one place, that makes it a little bit easier. And we also want the small business owners, we want you all talking with each other. We want you to find out what other people are doing. We want you to share your successes, your struggles with these other small businesses. So we don't have companies that are hitting the same hurdles over and over. If one person has a problem, let's get it out there, let's figure it out, let's solve it. No one's going to have to deal with that again. So you'll see much more, I think, events like this. We had a great turnout today, so excited about doing this again and doing more events together. So yeah, I'll be around afterwards if you have any questions. Again, our website, nashvillechamber.com/bizstudio. That's the best place you can find information. You can also follow me on Twitter @NashvilleCorey. I'm not going to give you any personal opinions or anything. It's all just events and programs and helpful educational information. But yeah, I'll be around afterwards if anyone has any questions too. But again, thank you for being here, and thanks to our panel and everyone.
Corey, thanks for including your final comments and your general comments. And we're going to work from Michelle down to the podium in just 30 seconds, very quickly. Each of you, as small business owners or operators, will inevitably have a reason to talk to people and organizations that are on this panel. So I would ask the panel if they would, just to state very quickly, what's the best and the most expeditious way to connect with your organization and what you do?
I guess the quickest and easiest way to connect with us, honestly, would be to probably check us out on our website. That's a primary way to learn about us, but you can always call us at 615-880-2814. And you can be directed to whomever. Following us on Twitter and replying to our tweets is another really great way to learn about what we're doing and also to let us know about you.
Kind of the same information. Really, our website at flynashville.com is the best place. And I forgot to mention, we just started a blog for our department, Yay Us. So you'll find information about business diversity development. And for at least for the next month, it's right there on the front slider that runs across the page. So usually our website, and actually the best way after you connect with us is to email us. We're typically always at a function, doing training, running. And so if you really want to get to us and you got something you need to talk about or you need to schedule an appointment with us, email is the quickest way. You can still call me, 275-1600, but the quickest way to get a response back is if you email, because I can email you back just as quick. I can sit here, I wouldn't do it at the podium, but I could sit here and email you back. So website and email for us.
I'm loving the variety of best ways to get in touch with you guys. Jerry?
Before I give that, let me put in a plug. Make sure you get registered with Michelle Lane's office. The way that you find out what contracts are coming available, you got to be registered. They have to have your information, because if they don't have your information, they can't send you the notices. So please get registered so you'll know which contracts are becoming available so you can bid on them. The best way to get in touch with me is call Ralph. Maynard, it's Jerry.Maynard jerry.maynard@nashville.gov, jerry.maynard@nashville.gov. My cell phone number is 615-275-5877. The best way to contact me is to text me. I get 250 emails a day. So the best way to get in touch with me is to text me.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Terry, you have the final word.
I do, okay. My personal email address is terry.cobb@nashville.gov. Getting in touch with the mayor's office to get assistance in business and economic development, the mayor's phone number is 862-6000. And they'll answer the phone and ask you how they can help you, and you tell them, and they'll get you to the right person, and you'll get a response. Email for the mayor's office is mayorsoffice@nashville.gov, and it'll go through that same sort of routing, and the right person will be assigned to respond to you, and you'll get a response very quickly.
You're going to give out Matt's cell phone number?
He doesn't answer it anyway.
He doesn't answer.
I would like to say Matt Wilshire is in the house, the Director of Economic Development, and also Chris Parham in the Mayor's Office of Economic Development.
Corey, looks like you have something you'd like to say.
Sorry, yeah, I still wanted to be last. Well, another way to engage with us, as I mentioned, we have multiple events a month. Come to those events; they're free. Anyone can come to those events. We do 2 a month, and even in July, that's our marketing month. So we have about 6 events set up. So they're all free. Come check them out. You can also sign up for a newsletter. We send those out every other week, and that'll tell you what events are coming up. And again, just sharing information about other programs and other resources. So a few different ways to engage.
Okay, so we're about to conclude for yet another valuable opportunity that's ahead of you, and that is our resource fair. What a great day to be out on the deck to get your questions answered. Our panelists are also going to be available. Just like to conclude with these final words, and they're words I think that maybe are obvious to people like you that have started businesses. Number one, the success of your business in this community will have to do largely with your engagement in the community. The way you market yourself, the way you promote yourself. I once had a mentor who told me it's not who you know or what you know, it's who knows what you know. And in your case, it's who knows what your business does. And so that engagement is really key. Secondly, you see here in front of you people who represent public policy that is intended to encourage the success of your business. But we all realize that your business is really fundamentally, the success of your business hinges on you. It's your drive, it's your risk-taking, it's your creativity. We don't want to do anything to get in the way of your success or growth, and where we can, we'd like to enhance that growth. So thank you for being the risk takers and the drivers that you are. Lots of households in Nashville, Tennessee benefit because of your leadership. Thank you very much, and let's hit the resource fair.